Well, guys, change is a thing of the past. For parking meters in Champaign, that is. The City Council voted in favor of a service that will allow you to pay parking meters directly from your phone. While there's 6 other polar plunges going on across the state today, it just seems like the thing to do. Here at Makerspace Urbana, they're celebrating a particularly special Pi Day. The numbers 3, 14, and 15 will not line up again for another 100 years. They're celebrating with face painting, raffles, and of course, Pi itself. I'm at the intersection of Washington and 4th in Champaign. Earlier today, police got reports of shots fired about a block north of here. Witnesses say they saw someone run into that green house behind me here. It's now 9 o'clock and Washington is blocked off between 4th and 5th Streets. I'm in Urbana at Crystal Lake, where Christian Zamora's body was pulled last Friday. If you look behind me, you can see there's a few cuts in the ice where it looks like they were looking for the body. In Urbana, I'm Luke Ray, US 7 News. While the president's orders on immigration have led to controversy, many families can breathe a sigh of relief. One University of Illinois student is married to an undocumented immigrant. Together they are raising their 2-year-old daughter. She prefers not to be identified in order to avoid any possible harm to her family.
He's just such an important part of our family. My daughter just adores him. He's just such a grounding, peaceful presence in our home, and I just can't imagine being a parent without him.
Last Tuesday, December 2nd, the Champaign-Urbana Immigration Forum held a briefing at Urbana Middle School to address the recent changes in immigration policy and answer any questions for those who might be affected. One new program is DAPA, short for Deferred Action for Parental Accountability. This will protect parents of U.S. citizens and lawful permanent residents from deportation and provide work permits for 3 years. An estimated 4.4 million people will be eligible to apply starting on May 20th, 2015.
Maybe this is a remedy for them to stay here in the country until they can legalize their status. And so we won't have to separate families. So it's something good to at least have people come out to announce they're here.
Certainly many families are relieved, but it is temporary and it doesn't solve every related problem.
So it you know, on one hand, it brings us a great sense of peace knowing that our family unit won't be torn apart. But it's also sad. You know, on one hand, it would be wonderful to be able to visit his family, but we can't leave the country together because he can't come back.
Luke Ray, US 7 Newsbreak. Sometimes the smallest thing can make the biggest difference. This is one of the most important lessons a student can take from the Fire Factor Academy.
I'm an RA at Illini Tower, so I'm getting informed.
For a lot of kids, this is their first time away from home, things like that. So we just want to re-educate as much as we can to, have as safe as an environment as we can.
Around 85 U of I students showed up to the Illinois Fire Service Institute for the 19th Fire Factor. It was a morning full of fire safety demonstrations and exercises. Before the exercises began, students were shown how a fire in a dorm room without a sprinkler system would unfold. Something as simple as checking for a sprinkler or a smoke detector can save lives. After the fake dorm fires, the students learned how to escape a smoke-filled building. They also learned how to properly use a fire extinguisher should the situation arise. As they say, there's a first time for everything. Fire Factor closed with a presentation on how to make it through your night safely at overcrowded bars. The lessons and drills were eye-opening for many of the students who attended.
I just learned how difficult it really is in a real life, or not real life, but a simulated situation, which would, I imagine, make it even more difficult to handle in a real life situation.
Luke Ray, US 7 Newsbreak. For those involved with Special Olympics athletes, bringing the polar plunge to the University of Illinois means a lot.
It's pretty much, I can't think of a place I'd rather be, to be honest.
The Polar Plunge has been the biggest fundraiser for Special Olympics Illinois. They've been doing it for 15 years, but this is the first time it's been held at U of I.
So we thought if we could kind of bring it to the students, we could get more involvement, and also by that way, kind of spreading the word that, about getting community involved and coming to volunteer at our local competitions as well.
Walk says because they don't charge athletes to participate, this is how they raise money. Over 300 people took the plunge and raised over $34,000. While there's 6 other polar plunges going on across the state today, it just seems like the thing to do. Walk says there's nearly 600 Special Olympics athletes in the Champaign-Urbana area and that it's not just about sports for them.
For them, it's about building friendships, becoming a part of the community, really feeling like they belong.
Though it is freezing water, the cause is heartwarming for those who participated.
People want to get behind it because it's, I don't know, it's hard to find the words. If you haven't experienced any part of Special Olympics, it's kind of self-explanatory once you do.
2,700 people across the state were inspired to take the plunge on Saturday. In Champaign, I'm Luke Ray, UI7 News.
Students on the U of I campus and police in Champaign-Urbana are preparing for the 20th annual unofficial St. Patrick's Day this Friday.
The annual spring event brings thousands of young people to campus for a full day of partying and drinking. With safety being a concern, local police officials say yesterday that over 100 officers will be patrolling campus on Friday. Enforcement wants students to know that as long as individuals are not endangering others, they have nothing to worry about.
As police agencies to ruin anybody's good time. If you're having a good time and you're doing so where your behavior doesn't affect the safety of yourself or others, then I doubt that you'll have any contact with the police.
Police are stressing eating, rest, and hydration for those participating this upcoming Friday. Now, there will be people, walking all around campus to get to parties wherever they're going. What do you say to people waiting in lines at bars?
Yeah, huddle up. I guess that's the best thing to do.
Well, Molly, I hope the cold weather isn't going to stay around much longer. I have personally slipped almost 3 times this morning on my way out of the house.
Well, it should be warming up this weekend. We'll take a look at the weather forecast up next.
Voting starts tomorrow for U of I students. Up next, we'll take a look at those student elections.
And there are few girls in math and science, but a group is trying to change that. See how still ahead.